Hello, Pacific Northwest Conference. My name is Erik Cave, and I'm your director for Next Gen Ministries. And today I want to introduce you to my friend Paul Collard. He is the executive pastor at Columbia Grove Covenant Church, and he was recently inducted into the Pacific Northwest Football Officials Hall of Fame. So, Paul, I'm excited to hear about that. But first, introduce yourself and tell us, what is your current ministry role and context?
Well, good morning, Erik, and thanks for this opportunity. My present position, as you said, is executive pastor at Columbia Grove Covenant Church. I started out, my sixth year here now. Started out as a part-time position as the director of volunteer development. I love people, love volunteering. I just love making things work. That's my prior life background. And when we moved back here from the Midwest, we attended a little church called the Herndon Covenant Church in Herndon, Kansas. Found about the covenant, and when we moved back here, I Googled covenant, and less than a mile away was Columbia Grove. So we immediately started attending, fell in love with the church, the people, and it just made sense. My wife and I were well received, and it just made sense when an opportunity came up. I put my application in, and lo and behold, 2.5 years later, I was called to be a full-time pastor. And in the process now, I just finished my licensing paper so I'll be interviewed in March, and looking forward to being licensed and credentialed here in the Northwest Conference for the ECC.
Wow, that's great. Oh, yeah. Congratulations on all of that. That's fantastic, especially on this award of being inducted into the Football Officials Hall of Fame. So what does it mean to you to have gotten this award?
First, when I even got the email that just said, hey, would you fill this information out to even be thought of to be in the Hall of Fame? Now there's 13 people. I was the 11th inductee out of thousands who have gone through. Some of my other inductees are like the only person to referee a Super Bowl, 3 Super Bowls in a row, the only person to officiate the 5 major New Year's Day bowl games. So, I mean, this is kind of an elite company. And I'm still in awe that the name Paul Collard is associated with that. But I'm humbled enough that when other people tell me that, hey, we've looked up to you for years, figuratively and literally, I guess I'm 6'6", so they do look up to me. But just doing the right thing, and the game was never about me. There had to be officials out there, and my job was to officiate the rules. And you learn the rules black and white. But if you want to have some longevity in officiating, you officiate a little bit in the gray too. And you spend a lot of time talking to the kids and working with the kids, and achieve some success along the way, some big games, some national championship games at the collegiate level. And but just not only the game, but just the experience and meeting so many quality people, and getting to travel too was a lot of fun.
That sounds great. Well, congratulations again. How has your church and your community responded to your achievement?
On the church, it's been wonderful. In my office on the wall to my right, I've got a few pictures, and there was an article written on me in our local newspaper on getting the Hall of Fame award. So it's an instant conversation starter for those that don't know it. I think the church people like the fact that I've been out in the real world and in the community, giving back literally thousands of hours. And I got to figuring I've probably officiated close to 900 football games over the course of my career. When I got the award, our senior pastor, Pastor Andrew Thompson, wanted to acknowledge me in front of the church. So the Sunday, which was actually also our Pastor Appreciation Sunday, so it worked out well. I came to church in a nice pair of black slacks, had a black pullover, and underneath my pullover, I had my referee shirt. And one of the things I do is I help with the offering and help with the communion instructions and Lord's Prayer and all the closing announcements every Sunday. So when I came up to the communion table, or just prior to the communion table, when we do the offering, Andrew said, well, many of you know Paul and his background as a sports official, and he has achieved some success, and we would like to acknowledge it as a church family. And at that point, I pulled my pullover off, and I had my umpire referee shirt on, the stripes,
Nice.
and I got a nice round of applause. And they, on the video board behind us, he showed probably 10 or 12 slides on a little musical tribute, and held up my trophy I got, and I got a beautiful Hall of Fame ring for that, and just had a lot of fun with it. And then when I did the closing announcements, I was up in front and at the very end of the service, and I said, well, this is personal from me. I said, I would just like to thank you for that round of applause. I said, normally when I wore this shirt, I didn't get much applause.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it was nice to hear some applause for the referee. And yeah, I think it's just good for people to know that, sports officials, we love games, we love the kids, we love the competition. And it's just beneficial for people to know that you might wear a striped shirt, but you're still a human, and you still, can love Jesus, and you can still, work in the community and be a successful part of the community.
Good. So you've been involved in sports leadership for a long time. Have you seen this intersect with ministry leadership in your life?
I think there's so many correlations between the two. You need to be able to think under pressure, remain calm when there might be chaos all around you. You need to be a great listener. You need to be able to kind of get to the point quickly and figure out exactly kind of what's going on, and just the ability to lead. And unfortunately, not so many people anymore even want to be sports officials. You read all the negativity in the newspaper, and that, I guess that shows my age when I say newspaper. I guess you should say online. There's so many correlations to sports and ministry that not every day is a success, not every game is a success, not every day as a pastor is a success.
Yeah.
But over the long haul, it's both are phenomenal occupations and vocations, if you will, to because you work with people and you're working with kids, and football is a very emotional game. There's bang bang play, and it's an emotion. And when we work with people, a lot of times it's very emotional times in people's lives, either at a death or a divorce, or just so many things that that we work with people on. So, but again, just thinking under pressure, being calm, listening, and accepting people where they are. We're all at a certain point, and I've worked 4 state championship games, a collegiate national championship game. Those are actually easiest games to work because everybody wants to win and the teams are good. So there's very few fouls called. The toughest games are when it's 41-7 at halftime, or the 8 and 9-year-old kid games on Saturday morning, because it's just chaos out there and you're just trying to keep things together. So, but I got the best job in the world right now, being the executive pastor here at Columbia Grove. So life's good.
Great. Well, congratulations again. I will link in the blog post below this video a link to the article that talks about your being inducted and gives you some of the background, your background on what you've done, the different things you've accomplished. I'll also link some contact information. So if anyone would like to get a hold of you and follow up with you, find out more about your ministry or what it's like to be a sports official or how to get involved in that, they can do that by following up with you. So thank you so much, Paul, for being with us today. It's been a pleasure.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the interview. I appreciate it, Eric. Thank you much, and God bless everybody.
And he was recently inducted into the Pacific Northwest football. I already messed it up.
So, hey, Steve, it wasn't my fault. You blew it.
Yeah, I blew it this time. Okay.